us right back to the beginning and talk us through why you started Cooper Software. What was your driving focus and motive for embarking on this business venture?
So hi, my name is Frank Cooper. I'm the CEO of Cooper Software. We're here today to talk a little bit more about IFS and our journey with IFS and our future with IFS and how we can help and deliver success to our customers. So almost 20 years ago now, working as an independent consultant trying to help deliver IFS into a number of organisations as the technical lead. The idea, if you like, in terms of why starting IFS and Cooper Software was simply because I saw the opportunity in terms of a technical organisation be able to extend the capability of IFS when it come to situations where the solution itself didn't quite match the business process. Back in the day, there was always an 80-20 principle that we used to apply, that 80% of the solution out of the box would fit. And my job really was to try and understand how we got that other 20% to fit. Typically that was by extending the solution, building more reporting, or integrating it into other applications to provide what would be core functionality. So in doing that, I really got to grips with how IFS was architected, and you could see the opportunity in terms of somebody who was technical could work with the business, understand the kind of the business requirements, turn that into a technical solution, but then be able to kind of replay that back to the customer in a non-technical way. And I think that's where the idea was born out, because the more projects we got involved with, the more opportunities you could see how you could extend the capability of IFS in this regard. Now, over the years, what we've gone through is we've built hundreds and hundreds, I think we've been over 1,500, 2,000 different projects that we've worked with in IFS. We've worked with over 300 customers. Many of them are still customers today in terms of a long-term relationship. But what we've had to do in terms of our overall offering to the marketplace has changed somewhat from just being that technical organisation, extending the IFS platform, which in itself has moved on hugely. So actually the need to do that, as we did 20 years ago, has now changed from having to build applications and connect them from the outside. It's really about how do we configure and extend IFS from the inside, and a lot of the functionality and architecture and the improvements and the overall product capability allows us to do that. But more than that, in terms of what we wanted to offer, the more requirements we got from customers, it became very much, well, we've developed something for you, we need to support that something for you. So building an organisation that could provide a level of support for the applications that we've delivered to customers, so these continue to remain always working, even when IFS changes, and be able to kind of support technically how a customer was able to use and interact with IFS. We've moved that on now, because a lot more of the requirements then start to become, well, how do I do things in IFS? It was more of a functional nature, so we had to expand the capability of our capability, but also what our offering was. And from that, then we get to the next level. Well, Cooper Software, we want you to help on these major projects. Can you provide the consulting to help us design a solution, help us implement a solution, and then support the solution? So you can see how the technical and support organisations would support all that, but it was then about how do we start delivering and building a consulting team, where we get to now today, where we have over 100 people working with many, many organisations, taking on some of the largest projects in Europe in terms of how we deliver IFS into them, how we collaborate with IFS, and how we continue to work with them to try and grow as an organisation and continue to deliver success, not just to existing customers, but how can we help win IFS new customers. So we've now developed even further, where we're taking the IFS message and the IFS platform directly to a new customer base to just add to the kind of the number of customers that use the product. And we continue to do that. So now we're selling IFS, we're supporting IFS, we're implementing IFS, we're upgrading IFS. So we cover the whole remit of your IFS journey and its life cycle in terms of its use within a company. And it's now about how can we kind of take this capability and we can work in other territories and other regions, such as the recent kind of move we've done into Germany and to the DACH region, where we can leverage a lot of everything we've built over here and move it into a new territory that maybe don't have quite as a broad depth or capable, or even some of the tools and applications that we've built over the years to be able to call on. So we can bring this into new territories as well now.
IFS Cloud has been awarded a leading ERP status. In your own words, could you tell me why you think that is?
IFS has always been a highly engineered product from an architecture perspective. But what we've done now is we've effectively, over the last 3 years, this has been completely transformed to you can use the latest technologies that still take best advantage of the latest technologies that are currently available, and moving from not just an on-premise system, but also being able to kind of deliver IFS on the cloud. And this comes with so many benefits in terms of moving to the cloud, and it's now become more commonplace for organizations to trust the cloud and be able to kind of make that leap. So what IFS have done to try and allow us to do that is create a platform which works entirely on the most modern technologies and is available in the cloud, as you would expect any leading ERP solution to be. But again, IFS has kind of done this in a way that, one, is highly engineered, but two, it allows it to be flexible. So what we do have within IFS Cloud is an opportunity, one, to have fully managed, fully cloud run application, but also give customers the option if they wanted to take it to a hosted environment. So they had some level of control in terms of the hosting platform behind the application, then they can do that. But equally, we can still use the same platform on an on-premise basis. So that in itself is a bit of groundbreaking kind of breakthrough. I think many customers who want to move to the cloud, but maybe want to kind of take a more staged transition in terms of how they move from an on-premise solution direct to a cloud solution, because the software system that IFS have created works the same in all of these environments in any way. So what that allows us to do, if somebody's a little bit nervous about moving directly to cloud, we can implement IFS cloud software on the on-premise environment, from which then we can then migrate them through to a hosted environment and to a cloud environment. So I think that in itself is just giving the different options. But in terms of the overall platform itself, you still receive the same, I guess the areas for me that really are the kind of the differentiators between IFS and a lot of the ERP platforms is this modular approach in terms of how its solution is pulled together and how it's delivered to its users. So you don't have to take all of the modules at once. You certainly can take a very shopping list approach in terms of what modules do you need just now, and as your business starts to grow, can we add more modules into that? And this comes at an ability just to switch modules on rather than have to plug in different areas or install different software sets. It all comes as a single platform. And regardless of what modules you do use, it's always interconnected by this very strong finance backbone, where every single transaction that's used, regardless of what module, will hit the finance ledgers, such that you've got that full financial traceability across everything you do in all the areas of IFS that you use. And as part of that, it comes with the ability to be able to run on any device, which is using modern technology, so from a tablet to a mobile phone to a PC or laptop, the same solution is able to be delivered in these different ways of interaction. Again, so this just kind of opens up whole areas of functionality and usability that possibly other ERP systems have not had, and IFS themselves have not had in the past. But this migration to this new cloud architecture has unlocked the kind of ability to use all these different technologies.
Over the years, Cooper Software has experienced tremendous growth with expansion into the DACH region. What do you see as the biggest opportunities within this region?
In terms of working in DACH, we've been working with many customers for many years in their territory, typically through kind of working with UK organisations that have subsidiary organisations within this area. But as we've been able to kind of deliver into this space, what we've found is a real understanding of the localizations and the nuances that businesses have when they're operating in this territory. So on top of that, as IFS themselves have been looking to kind of centralise their consulting and support organisations, what we've been able to do is work with businesses who are looking for a strategic partner, really, to be able to help them with their kind of strategic system. So what we're able to bring is a lot of our capability around just our technical, our functional, our consulting expertise, and being able to help customers get the most value out of their system, on the backdrop that we've been working in Germany for a number of years, and we've understood a lot of the localizations, and we actually have a team in Germany region as well. So now it's about working with the IFS territory specialists in IFS to be able to introduce us to the new customer base, so we can bring not just this expertise but also the capabilities we have around support and offline support, critical support cover, an organisation that follows the methodologies of how an implementation of the system needs to follow, the technical experiences that we're able to bring that we've learned from our close relationship with the R&D teams in IFS, and then probably just as importantly of all of that is the different products and tools that we've developed over the years that are quite unique to Cooper Software. That's our IP that we've been able to help develop, which has given many customers across the UK benefit over many years, and we're able to bring these this whole combination of capabilities, experience, services in a one-stop shop to be able to provide the same benefit to customers in that territory.
So how do you see IFS applications evolving to meet today's demanding business landscape?
So the IFS product capability has always been hugely strong, and I think when you look at its market sectors that it specialises in, it has always been at the forefront of these particular areas. And many times this is because of their deep functionality, but also wide coverage in terms of the operations that it can support businesses who work within the specialist sectors such as construction or manufacturing, energy. These are all areas where IFS excels. And what we've found over the years is IFS as an organisation has really continued to invest, building out and building deeper the capability and functionality of their platform. This has been kind of complemented by the technical investment that the organisation has put in to really be able to keep up with a modern kind of technology stack, but also be able to deliver the solution in a more modern way, taking advantage of the technologies that are available today. So things like cloud and how it's able to kind of deliver the same platform on any device, how we're able to kind of tightly integrate complex and multifaceted reporting from the lowest level of business report, their output documents, to for an invoice, for instance, all the way through to lobbies and dashboards, which kind of really drive users' kind of interaction with IFS on a day-to-day basis. And then furthermore, having fully integrated kind of connections to BI products like Power BI. So this all comes out of the box now. It's all tried and tested, and we just see that IFS is continuing to invest in not just the functional capability, but also the technical capability to keep at the forefront of the ERP marketplace.
Evergreen is a term we're used to hearing in relation to software, particularly smartphone apps and business software such as Office 365. However, what does this mean in relation to IFS?
So an evergreen from an IFS standpoint means that you're always going to be remaining on the first version. So what we found over the years, and this will be uncommon to many people who use ERP systems, that you typically kind of invest in an ERP platform. There's a huge amount of time and effort to kind of implement that system such that the business can then use it to kind of improve its operations and drive more value in terms of how they work for day to day. So what we're trying to do is, rather than get to that point, implement the software, and then everybody takes a breath and we continue using that platform for the next few years, well, the concept of evergreen is really trying to kind of deliver incremental change to an organization, so we're not having to kind of stop leveraging the capability of an ERP platform once you've implemented it. It's really to continue to take advantages of not just the functional capabilities and gains that are being delivered through R&D, but also the technical gains that are being delivered through R&D, and not having to wait until the point where you have to do another upgrade or a re-implementation or even look at changing your ERP vendor. What we're trying to do is implement this continuous improvement, if you like, through this functional and technical change on a continuous basis. So every month there'll be additional updates, which will be more functional capability and technical capability. And then every 6 months there'll be a much wider kind of drop or made available kind of this functional and technical capability. And what we do as an organisation is we help support companies who want to take advantage of this evergreen capability, which IFS now allows you to do through these kind of updates and patching that kind of comes on a regular basis. It's really helping guide the testing, the training, so this whole delivery of evergreen is seamless from an implementation point of view, in terms of how the technology lands and how the change is absorbed by the businesses who are using it.
So my final question to conclude: Cooper Software has been successful in achieving the IFS Spirit Award 2 years running, and they've been awarded IFS Gold Partner status. So following on from these successes, why do you think that Cooper Software is the right choice when it comes to IFS projects?
So Cooper Software have been working within IFS for nearly 20 years. It was something that I started as an individual, invested in growing Cooper Software by adding more people, mainly through technical people to start with, then through consultants. We've now got a one-stop shop in terms of how we can help an organisation for the entire life cycle of their commitment and investment in the IFS platform. So in terms of and I think the IFS Spirit Awards are a really good way of kind of trying to reinforce what Cooper Software do to help customers succeed when they invest in that platform. So what we do is we come at a very client-centric kind of approach. So many of our team actually over the years have been customers of IFS and who've been working in implementations of IFS, so they understand on the customer side what it needs to do to go through an implementation of IFS, and how you need to work practically sometimes to be able to make that happen. And what we like to do is we like to think that we are very client-centric, in the sense it's not just a case of us coming in, giving you the options and leaving it to you to install, or to make some key decisions, or even to do some of the heavy lifting that's required in terms of an ERP implementation. But we're here to help you every step of the way. And I think when you look at the customers that we've worked with over the years, and the projects and the long-standing relationships we've been able to develop, it's very much because we are there helping you for the long term, and we are able to be flexible and take on tasks that you may not find from the more traditional type of ERP vendor or partner when they're implementing an ERP system. I think over and above that, what we do is we spend a lot of time working with our customers, understanding their industry, and we're able to bring with ourselves not just the technical experience, but also the functional experience of how their sector needs, from an ERP system, needs to look. And what that allows us to do, once we've got that kind of knowledge and understanding of the customers, what we're able to do is then work within other customers within the same sector and try and derive value and benefit by connecting them together, or bringing into different implementations learnings we've had from other customers. And I think that in itself is really kind of building a spirit of collaboration that's just not just helping one customer, but it's helping the whole ecosystem. And furthermore, for that, so I think that from a customer point of view, why customers choose us, why do customers stay with us, it's really because we work with them through that whole process, and it's a much more value-add engagement and an invested engagement in terms of how we can build that strategic relationship. But in terms of the IFS side, we were one of the founders of the IFS partnership in the UK, and what I mean by that is we worked with IFS very hard in the first instance back in the 2000s in terms of how can we build a much more collaborative, closer relationship. We're obviously the technical experts in the UK as a partner point of view. How can we work with R&D to be able to provide and fill in some of the gaps as their R&D platform was moving forward? A good example would be an Acquire product, where IFS were looking to invest in Wadico, which is their barcoding solution, as a kind of an interim step for that, as they were looking to bring that to market. We were able to work with IFS and some of their customers and use some of the products that we'd built to be able to fill some of those gaps in the short term. And I think that kind of shows that what we are willing to do is work with and collaborate with IFS in areas where we think we can bring value, but also how we can help bring some of their new capabilities and functionalities to market, but giving them some support and helping them do that. And to kind of almost kind of cover that off, if we look where we were last year, as IFS are changing and as they're centralising and bringing new kind of capabilities and ways of delivering services to the market, partner success was a big game changer for IFS in terms of how do companies like Cooper Software work more closely with IFS. And what we were the first ones to work with IFS, understand what we were trying to do in terms of this deeper collaboration to deliver projects over the long term, but really trying to upskill and make sure our team had the safeguarding, the support behind the scenes in terms of relationship with IFS and knowledge of our projects. So if we were coming across areas that we weren't quite understanding, or it was new functionality, that we were able to deliver that seamlessly through the customer or to the customer via partner success. But to do that took quite a bit of a leap of faith. It was a brand new way of working. So we walked it through, and we were one of the first companies or the first partners globally to kind of sign up to this and really commit how we were going to help IFS succeed in this new endeavour. And I think that just exhibits that we tend to be at the forefront of pushing kind of the boundaries of IFS itself. And part of that, we want to build those relationships and help. How can we collaborate? And when it does mean to the when it comes to the crunch, we do actually commit to IFS and really help support them in these new endeavours to help them succeed.
Thanks so much for doing that today. We all really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to Cooper Software's YouTube channel for fresh, innovative and informative content coming your way every month.